to Chasing K-Dramas, the podcast that dissects popular Korean dramas episode by episode. We get into the characters, themes, and everything in between. I'm your host, Dulcé Sloan, and this is my co-host,
Chrissy Choi.
So what are we talking about?
We're talking about Queen of Tears. Queen of Tears, the Korean title being 눈물의 여왕.
Say it again.
눈물의 여왕.
See, here's the thing. She speaks Korean. I don't. So I know a few words to be cute. I know Ani, I know Ajuma, and I know not to call that person Ajuma. I'm going to break it down. I'm going to tell the people what Queen of Tears is about. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. I'm bad at the names.
All good.
This
is why we're here. I'm here for you. I'm here to help you.
Because I'm somebody whose name is constantly mispronounced. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I'm going to let the people learn what the real pronunciation is. And then there's is there like a Romanized, Americanized pronunciation of some of these names?
Yeah. And I think the way we do it, it's fine. I feel like tons of people use the Romanized version, right?
Yes.
So you can you can do your thing. And I don't think I need to correct you every time, but I will be using the more Korean pronunciation.
I'm not going to try none of these names.
Yes.
But
as you go along, you're going to get better.
As I get better, because the curve is always learning.
Yes.
The learning is always a curve.
Yes.
So, Queen of Tears is about a young man named
Hyunwoo.
Yeah, Hyunwoo, who is the pride of the village of Yongduri, is the legal director of the conglomerate Keen's group. Why is it Chaebol?
Chaebol.
Heiress, what is it? Haein?
Haein, yes.
See, I'm baby steps. Is the queen of Queen's Group department stores. So Queen of Tears will tell the miraculous, thrilling, and humorous love story of this married couple who managed to survive a crisis and stay together against all odds.
Love it.
Well, I got a different description.
Yes.
So, a very sweet man from the countryside falls in love and marries a cold city woman. Now, he wanted to be a supportive husband, but his super rich spouse and her family made him into a dutiful wife. Because you always... Listen, sometimes women marry men, but that woman got that woman got a wife. He thought he was a husband, ended up with a wife. So he ended up being a wife, right?
Yes.
So he's cooking, he's handling business problems. Mind you, he's a successful lawyer who starts working for the family.
Yes.
And so he's handling that, the daddy business, the chairman business, grandpa business, and he even takes care of the in-laws. He's miserable. And he realizes that divorce is his only way out until his wife tells him she only has 3 months to live.
It's a lot of stuff.
That's why I understand that has to be the reveal. But if I don't know the show, just tell me what the campaign is.
Yep.
Also, here's the thing about Korean dramas. There's so many other things happening.
Yes.
Because most shows... they'll have like an A or a B, even an A or B or a C storyline. And that can happen in a 30-minute episode. Like Brooklyn Nine-Nine was great about having an A and a B and an A and a B and a C storyline.
Right.
K-dramas will have an A through Z storyline.
Yeah.
Because what do we learn? So we were going through the intros, right? So first of all, just to really break it down for y'all, like I give like a cute little synopsis, but so there's her family, then there's his family. Then within that dynamic, there's her parents. So with her family, there's the chairman and his girlfriend, her parents, her brother and his wife, and the aunt, and then a mysterious uncle who they're mad at.
Yes.
Right? Then within her family, with his family, there's his parents. And then his siblings. Then at the job, there's some scandalous, scheming ass lady named Grace.
Grace, yes.
And if you know anything about, there were so many girls named Grace at your high school.
A lot of Korean Graces.
A lot of
Korean American Graces.
A lot of Korean American Graces. There's Grace. So scheming ass businesswoman / matchmaker / just
she is
villain?
their minion. She's
a minion.
Haein's family's minion.
She's a henchman is what she is.
Yes.
She's a henchwoman. And then there's the assistant.
Yes.
And then there's his best friend. the lawyers.
Yes, Yangi.
All of these people
Yeah.
have storylines.
And then to add that,
Right.
from Hyunwoo's family in Yongduri, right?
Yeah.
You have a bunch of friends of the parents, right?
Yes.
And they have that. I think this kind of is a good transition to talk about like the length of this drama. It is an incredibly long show.
It's mini movies.
It's mini movies. There's 16 episodes. It's 90 minutes long. So I calculated it. It's around like 24 hours of content. 24 hours.
So if you wanted to watch this show, because I can tell you, like, you have to understand, like, I started watching K-dramas because Atlanta had a Korean TV station called KTN. So I started watching them when I was in high school. And so the modern dramas would have the English subtitles, but then the historical dramas didn't. So once I would see that horse come across the screen,
The horse?
girl, it was, I don't know what show it was, but there was the king, because you would see, like, so all you would see is like Daegam and then the king, and then a horse come by, and then like Korean, but like slashing across the screen. And I'm just like, the music, I'm like, that's a lot of large instruments. I don't know what the fuck is happening. But I'm like, I knew it was set in the past, but there was no subtitles. I'm just like, well, I'm out. So I always would notice, like, with the modern ones, it's so much going on, but like, but it was hard to like binge watch because there was no binging when we were kids. Now, when they started putting them on the interwebs, the number of times I looked up and was like, is that the sun? I have to go to work today.
Yeah.
So you have to make yourself go, no, turn them off. Turn them off. Because a number of times I had looked up and been like, that's honestly, but this was great during COVID. Because you're just like, the sun is up. Who gives a shit?
Yes. You can just watch them all day.
You can watch them all day long. So if you have if you want to challenge yourself, you got a solid 24 hours with nothing to do, watch this show. This show goes everywhere.
Yes.
It goes everywhere. So like first of all, it's like we're starting at a wedding.
Yes.
We're starting at a beautiful, majestic, gorgeous, expensive.
Yes.
Expensive wedding.
Very, very expensive wedding. It is a chaebol wedding, so you know it's going to be super fancy. It's really pretty the way they did it too. Like the coloring, like it's gorgeous. Yeah.
Now, for those of us, now listen, if you're listening to this podcast, you know the chaebol. It's a very popular trope, but usually it's the other way around. Usually it's a young working woman falling in love with like the chaebol heir.
Yes.
And it's the son.
Yes.
And I noticed the whole thing about this like drama is that all of the gender roles are very reversed on this show.
Yes.
So it's like she gets a wife. It's a man, but it's just like, so she's the head of the family. So she's the head of the family. And then you see that kind of going throughout the theme. Because when he goes back home and you are introduced to his parents.
Yes.
Because tell me how to say his name again.
Hyunwoo.
So Hyunwoo's parents, when you meet Hyunwoo's parents, the dad is his cultivator stuck in a ditch.
Yes.
So like I said, a sweet country man. The cultivator stuck in the ditch. He's waiting for his wife
to come
save him. And his friend.
Yeah.
So two grown men are waiting for this tiny woman to show up. She cranks this bitch up like a Model T. First of all, I've never even seen a vehicle like that in my entire life. I mean, you put wheels on any fucking farm equipment.
The funny part too is when his dad is telling his friend, he was like, "Oh yeah, my wife, she used to like," I think he was saying she used to like hunt down octopus in the countryside.
Oh yeah,
she's so capable, and it's so funny.
Like, why are there octopus in a field? How did these octopus get in the field? So he's saying, so it's like the wife comes, so the wife comes and gets him. So it's like it makes sense that with this dynamic, and then when all the son-in-laws.
Yeah.
So we're kind of getting ahead of ourselves.
Yep.
But I've noticed that very much, and I was like, because I was rewatching it, and I was like, oh, they kind of, especially in a country that is very much about a gender role.
Yes.
And very much about women this, men that, and who's doing what.
It's a patriarchal society.
Very patriarchal society. Unlike the world.
Yeah.
So to see a drama that was so popular, because this was like, didn't this break a record?
Yeah. This show was the most popular show in Korea of this year, and also on Netflix. It was the most popular Korean drama. It broke all the records. The writer, the showrunner, her name is Park Ji-eun, and she actually writes a lot of other dramas that have very strong female characters. So I think a lot of her shows really do a good job of like flipping that narrative, like the gender norms being flipped. So yeah, her show, she's a great writer. She usually works with the same actors. So the person who plays Hyunwoo, Kim Soo-yeon, he has been in 3 other of her shows, which is kind of cool. Anyways, but it was super, I digress, but super popular show in Korea. And I think she does a really good job of writing strong characters like Haein, you know? So
Yeah, 'cause Haein, that girl has a very good face.
she's so pretty.
The actress has a great way because it's not a lot of people can play cold correctly.
Yeah, she's so good. So when she was younger, so this was a drama in like 2013, I'm jumping, but there's a show called The Heirs.
Yes,
Heard
yes,
of it?
yes, I heard
Yeah.
the show.
So she's a lot younger. It's like 10 years ago, right?
Okay.
10, yeah. I think that was like her first drama that she was on. She plays the exact same character. She's so good. That cold, queen.
Because she knows how to hold her face.
She does.
I also love when she takes, it's so ingrained in her having to have this wall up.
Yeah.
That even when they start falling in love and she starts softening, she's still hard.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of appreciate about it,
Yeah.
is that she doesn't turn to complete mush.
Yeah.
That this is her personality.
Yeah.
This is who she is as a person, because she's had to adapt because of her family dynamic. She's in charge of, there's the chairman.
Yeah.
But she's in charge of the family. She's in charge of the business.
Yeah.
And
she's seen as she's going to be the heir. Like she's the heiress.
To start from that gorgeous wedding and then to see them at work and they have no, because the wedding's 3 years before this.
3 years before. And then they go back into the story where it's like a flashback of how they met and how they met so cute, you know?
She's kicking the printer. You're like, when you realize, I'm like, oh, this girl never worked.
So she was an intern at the Queen's department.
Yeah.
Hyunwoo was already an employee there, and I think he was just starting out. He's like a rookie employee. He was just starting out. He sees her struggling with the printer.
She's kicking a printer. And as anybody, like the copier, and if anybody who's ever worked in an office has had to deal with a copier,
so
you're
hard.
kicking that bitch. So when I saw her kicking that copy machine, I was like, yes. My question is, why was she always kicking this copier? I think she didn't know how it worked.
No, she didn't. She had no idea. She might have been smart, but she's a rich girl. She doesn't know how to work anything.
The shoes are so high.
Oh, she dresses so well. Oh, I love all of her outfits in the show.
The shoes must be like a size 6. They're so high. She probably weighs 102 pounds.
Yeah, no, she's probably like 90 something pounds.
Oh, she's 93 pounds.
She's tiny.
Soaking wet. And there's no way. There's no
a
heel that high. Also, it's like, girl, why? Girl, for what? And so it was so great because he at one point was like, I was worried about the printer.
Yeah.
I was worried about the copier because she kept coming in there kicking that copier's ass. And he's just like, would you stop?
Yeah.
Would you stop, please? And then he was like, it's so my favorite scene, and I wrote it down. Okay. The first encounter, kicking the photocopier, and then he pulls her to the side in the stairwell. First of all, it's a very man thing to do. Like, hey, let me talk to you. And I'm like, sir, I don't know you. Why are we in a stairwell?
Yes.
And he's looking around, and he's like,
this
listen,
so great.
you're going to get fired if you keep acting like this.
Yeah.
And you're making me worried. And I love her response of, because your first instinct to go, sir, you're being weird. What you mean I'm going to get fired? Her first instinct was to go, why are you worried?
Why do you care?
Why do you care? She was just like, so that's our first indication that he likes her.
Yes.
It's like, because he's going, I'm worried about you. He's like, you're going to get fired. She's like, no, he said, any job you go to, you're going to get fired. I've been a part-timer. You don't know what you're doing. Wherever you go, you're going to get fired.
Yes.
And she was like, but why you worried though?
She's like, why do you care so much?
Why do you care so much? And I'm like, sir.
In Korean,
You know why you do care so much?
in Korean, there's a word called princess syndrome. It's called 공주병.
공주병?
Princess syndrome. She has princess syndrome. So
Okay.
princess syndrome is people who think like they think they're a princess. They think everyone likes them. She is textbook 공주병.
Oh.
I don't know if that's like a modern term because also Korean like slang changes a lot. Maybe this is like something they used like 10, 15 years ago, but 공주병.
I can say that I was taught that if I'm walking up to a door,
That a man has to open it
if
for
me
you?
and a man are walking up to
Yeah,
a
of
door at the
course.
same time, I'm not touching this door.
Yeah.
That's why I was dating. I was spending time. Dating is a is a very heavy term. I was wasting my time. I was occupying my time with a gentleman from the trash city known as New York, and we both walk up to a door, and I stand there, and he stands there, I look at him and I'm like, so he's like, what? And I was like,
I cannot.
what are you? He was like, what we gonna do? And I was like, open the door. He's like, you got there first. I'm like, open the door. And he was like, well, it looks like neither one of us is going inside. I was like, open the door.
No, ma'am. Mm-mm.
I was like, listen,
Nope.
I'm allergic to doors when we are together. I'm touching no door. So after this day, he opened all of the doors. But I'm like, I shouldn't have had to tell you to open the door. He was like, what you doing? I said, what are you doing?
No.
You know where I'm from.
Right. So you're from Georgia.
Yes.
I'm from South Carolina.
Yes.
We grew up in the South.
Yes.
Men open doors.
Yes.
They get up, actually. Like, let's say you approach a table. Men are trained to get up and they sit down.
Yes. I haven't seen it in a while because I'm around Yankee comics a lot.
The umbrella.
The umbrella.
Scene. My
So,
favorite scene.
Let me tell you something.
It's so sweet.
First of all, it's raining, right?
Uh-huh.
And she's like, I don't need this umbrella. He's like, of course you do. Mind you, right before but also the thing is, he thinks she's a part-timer. He
Yes.
thinks she has no money.
So stupid.
So he's not paying attention to her clothes or her hair,
Nope.
her shoes.
Nothing.
Nothing on her body is he paying attention to.
He's book smart, but he ain't street smart.
No, he is not seeing what the campaign is when it comes to the outfit.
Nope.
Right?
Mm-mm.
And so she just calls her driver right before he walks up. And all she says is, I'm ready to go.
I know, it is the most Princess Syndrome-esque, like.
Right. It wasn't, hey,
Nope. She's like, come now.
come now. Hurry up. Hangs up the phone. The young man comes walking up. Hey, it's raining outside. Here's an umbrella. She's like, what do I need with this? Because in her mind, she got a driver. I don't need no umbrella.
Yes.
He finna get wet, not me.
Yes.
And so let me look at my notes. For that man to go through, he's like, my family got 30 cows.
That's
fresh
the
out
best.
back.
That is the best part. He says, I went to Seoul National. He goes, I don't think if you, I didn't want to say this, but I went to Seoul National University.
Is that like going
Law
to Harvard?
school. Yes, that is
Okay.
like the big thing.
Harvard. What is the other colleges? I have a liberal arts degree, so I don't fucking.
So it's,
Harvard, a Princeton.
Yes.
Stanford.
They call it the Sky Schools in Korea, SKY school. So it's Seoul National, Koryo University,
Koryo. Okay.
and Yonsei University. Those
Okay.
are the three. So he went to the top, and he went to the law school, which is like a
Hard
big
as
deal.
hell to get into. And the amount of tests that y'all have to take to even to get into school.
Yeah, it's just super. Basically, their SATs are on steroids.
Oh, I
Yeah.
can see them kids are.
Yeah.
When kids start
Yeah.
studying, I've seen the learning centers.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. I
We've
know.
all seen what is it, Kumon?
Kumon.
Kumon.
Is Japanese, but I went to Kumon. But we take the SAT prep classes, the cram schools, all of that.
Oh yeah, they did that in Norcross.
Yeah.
Kids are
I
stressed out.
went in Atlanta,
Yes.
and then my mom, because I did not do that well, she sent me to LA for a summer with my relatives. Yeah, it's crazy.
Y'all kids be stressed out.
I know. Well, it's actually, I mean, this is, I feel like, another topic, but yes, education in Korea is very It's tough. It's tough for people. It's so competitive.
Oh yeah.
There are dramas about it that we should also talk about.
Oh, the kids dramas.
It's not a kids drama. It's about like parents trying to get their kids into college. There's a really good show that like covers that.
Oh, like the lady, the Lori Loughlin lady who was
yes. That drama is called Sky Castle. You get it? Like
Wait,
Sky
I saw
Castle.
part of Sky Castle. And
Sky Castle's so good.
And the ladies,
So good.
they even wasn't it that they went to school together?
They weren't in school together. They live in like a neighborhood, like a subdivision.
Yes.
That's like for the elites. And all what these ajumas do are they're just like pitting their kids against each other. They're forcing their kids, but there's like a murder mystery in Sky. It's so good.
Okay.
It's so
all right.
good.
All
It's
right.
so
That's
good.
the part. That's the
It's
part.
so good.
Right.
Yeah.
So, what is like hometown cha cha cha?
Cha 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 was more like that was happier.
No, there was one of those shows like that where you're like it's a cute love story, but there's also murder mystery. In it.
There's no cute like this is more of their dramas. Like
I'm gonna have to remember because it wasn't
There's not much love.
It was it wasn't Samdali. It was another one. But
When the Camellia Blooms,
yes,
that was such a good one too.
that one when the camellia blooms. I'm sitting there. This is cute.
Yeah.
Oh wait a minute, what?
Yeah.
That was sneaky. I like that.
Yeah.
So, but the fact that he comes up to her is like, I went to this law school.
Mm-hmm.
I am the pride of my neighborhood. What is it? Yongduri?
Yongduri.
Mm-hmm. So I'm the pride of my neighborhood.
Mm-hmm.
My daddy's in the government.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the pride of my neighborhood. Then it's like, listen, we got 30 cows. Some of them have some cows. Some of them had some calves. So now we got 35 cows. Okay? He said, and I wanted a dual income household, but I would be the sole earner for you. And I'm like,
Oh no.
this is what you say to me. Okay?
Yes.
This is what you say to me. He was like, I will do that for you. For a man to walk up to you and go, I got boom, 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 boom. And then go, oh, and I like you. So tell me what you can do. Mm-hmm. This man said, not only here's what I bring to the table, bitch, here's the table. Mm-hmm. This man brought the table, laid out the bounty before her, and said, what you want to do. Also, he's like, don't feel no pressure. Here's your umbrella. Boom. And she watched him run through the rain.
I know.
And then the driver came up and she held on to that umbrella.
She did.
But that's how, but I'm like, I wish we still talk like this in America. Because for a man to be like, hey, I will take care of you. But this is the thing. It's like, I have had men who are interested in me that will go, I like you, but I cannot take care of you.
Oh my God, what is wrong with people?
Well, here's the thing. We all know that if a man can't take care of himself, usually he's not trying to date anybody. He's out here sleeping with people and wasting their time.
Yeah.
But he's not trying to be in a relationship with anybody.
Yeah.
Like a decent man is like, I don't make enough money to take care of myself. How dare I be in a relationship? The decent ones. The other ones, they be broke as shit staying with their mama talking about, yo, what you want to do?
That's for the other podcast called 40 and Frazzled.
Listen, upset. And so
40 and Frazzled.
It's, so yeah, the fact that he was just like, yeah.
It was so nice.
It was great because he was like, I'm worried about you. I want to take care of you. I like you.
Yeah. And I think for Haein, as we get to know her character, I feel like it's probably the first time she ever had any guy say those things to her because, you know, she's always been a princess.
And
like
she's
people
rich
know.
as shit.
She's rich. So like it's probably really hard for men to approach her.
Yes.
She probably isn't really, I mean, clearly the way she acts, I don't think she was like dating people, you know? So
also,
like
she probably couldn't.
She couldn't. And now you have this person who's like so clueless. It's endearing how clueless she is.
It probably was refreshing for her.
Yeah.
Where it was just like, because I'm here as an intern.
Yeah.
Because it's like, you could probably get fired. She's like, I'm not going to get fired.
She's like, don't worry about me. But there's this man, like, he like really cares.
He really cares.
And she's being herself, her authentic self. She's kicking the
copier. And listen, when you're
yeah.
upset is the most authentic self that you can have. When she's kicking that damn copy machine. Mm-hmm. And so he comes up immediately to fix it. But as he's helping her, because this is something we have to all acknowledge. And we're about men that we're not trying to acknowledge. We teach men that their value is in their ability to do things. Right?
Mm-hmm.
So he has to show
that
he can do things.
Mm-hmm.
when they're dating and he doesn't know who she is, when he finds out who she is, what does he do? He breaks up with her, he quits, and he moves back home.
He ghosts her.
He ghosts her. The helicopter.
It's so over the top.
Into the orchard.
And all the people.
She's great.
Oh, it's so good. And the slow-mo, of course you got to add the slow-mo.
It can't be fast.
And this dress, I mean, this skirt, I don't even know.
The heels in the field.
Oh, my God.
She's never been in a flat.
Oh, my God.
She's been on her tiptoes her whole life.
It's so ridiculous. And the flower petals.
Honestly, this is great because there's so many times where you see like the cherry blossoms.
Oh, and then he runs over and he's in little like PJs
And
slippers.
pajama pants.
Oh, and he hugs her.
I always love the hug on the Korean dramas where it's like he's hugging her and her arms are completely at her side. But she put her arms up. I love it because this is one, I'm like, okay, she went to go get her wife. But two, because you know I have like my girl what moments.
Yes.
This is my girl what moment.
Yes.
My girl what moment is, why did you land a helicopter in this field?
I know.
For what?
And
You
how
already
did
know I'm rich. You brought. This is the thing. He ghosted you when he found out that you were the heir to the Queen's group, and he quit his job because you are an heiress.
Yep.
To what is it? A Chebul?
Chebul.
A Chebul family. You are the Chebul, and then she was like, "Yeah, not only am I rich, not only am I a Chebul, I'm about to drop a helicopter in your country ass town to let you know that I can casually pull up in your shit on a Tuesday."
Oh my God. It's just,
It
it's
was
so extra.
But that was my girl what moment. We're like, girl, what is this for? Because the lady, when she wrote it, she was just like, how extreme can I make this? Because, you know, she was probably like, expensive cars, motorcade, helicopter. I mean, she literally swept the man off his feet.
She did.
She did.
In his PJs and his slippers.
In
He
his
was
PJs
like, I'm
and his
in.
slippers, she pulls up in this helicopter.
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, what a stunt. What a stunt.
Just so ridiculous.
The big timers, I mean, listen, they said gator boots, pimped out Gucci suits. But what they did not say was a helicopter in your orchard.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they did not say. Because what's so crazy is that the next scene is them having this showdown in the store. Because remember, so she wants that high-end store to come into the store.
Yes.
So she wants that high-end store because you have to be in the Trillion Won Club.
Yeah.
Which,
well, before that, I
Right.
think there's one key thing.
Okay, tell me,
after the scene of the
Yes.
helicopter, you go into Hyunwoo's friends. They're all talking about Hyunwoo wanting a divorce. So they drop that.
Yes.
Yeah, which is a big thing, right?
so
Like
it's all the lawyers sitting. So yes.
they're just
Oh.
like, I don't want to take this case because I don't want to go against
Yes.
Queens. So his best friend, his name is Youngie, Kim Youngie. Yeah, and they're all talking to him about it. So now we know that he is planning to divorce Haein
3 years in.
3 years in.
Because he's sad.
He's sad. He is, who knows? But it ain't what he signed up for.
No, it's not what he signed up for.
It ain't what he signed up
And so,
for.
but it's also you're just like, well, why?
I know.
What happened?
So-
Y'all was just knocking. Y'all was in a cloud of petals. I think it's like what an apple orchard. I don't know what fucking plant this is.
Yeah.
But like the blossoms is flying. She done dropped a helicopter off in this bitch, and she done flew you back to her house.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all got married in a beautiful marriage, beautiful wedding.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And now y'all at the job mad at each other.
Yep.
Because you're going to work in the same car but not looking at each other. That must be the wildest thing.
Well, that was the other thing too. It's interesting about this marriage because it's been 3 years of this, and they spend every waking minute of their lives together.
Yeah, because they sleep in separate bedrooms.
They sleep in separate bedrooms, but they go to work together.
They eat breakfast at the same table separately.
They drive to work together.
Which they don't have to.
They don't have to, but they do though.
For
because
appearances.
Appearances, exactly.
Right.
And then they are doing everything. And he reports into her. Mm-hmm. You know, he's the general counsel, but he's still, you know, in this scene, you see them going at it.
Well, it's also lets you know how big this company is.
I mean, it's massive.
For them to have in-house lawyers.
Yeah, and this is just isn't, you know, the Queen's conglomerate, Queen's
this ain't
group.
Macy's.
So Haein heads up their department store.
Yeah.
But then the brother manages something else. There's like other things like manufacturing, this company and that. So I mean, this is like Samsung, right? Samsung in Korea, they have all these like different departments, branches, all of that. So it's a huge company, and he reports into her, which God bless him. Could you imagine? And then you meet the assistants. There's the two assistants.
Mm-hmm. His assistant, her assistant.
Her assistant, actually, fun fact, she was the actress who plays her was part of a Korean K-pop girl group called A-Pink. I used to listen to them. But anyways.
There's so many pinks.
There's a lot of pinks here. Yeah. But yeah. And I think them working together, they're stressing out their employees. They get a sense of their marital problems.
Well, also
everyone
because the
sees
employees
it.
have to like alert each other to be like, this one's coming, that
Yeah.
one's coming.
Just so
it's
much.
like, okay, well, he's coming this way. They're literally trying to make them avoid each other. So the employees are helping keep up appearances for them because the rest of the store can't know. Here's the thing. Everybody has to know.
Yes.
Because she's cold to everybody.
Right.
But then he is not.
Yeah.
And he's just taken being like these verbal beatings from people. And so like they're walking into the store. And so she's cutthroat executive. And then there's the $1 trillion club, which I never... Here's the thing. When you watch this just little throwaway line, and this is why I love so much. The other reason I love watching K-dramas is that there's so much information put into a 90-minute or an hour-long show.
Yeah.
And so you don't think this $1 trillion club is a big deal. It's going to be important. And then you find out for the rest of the series, this is a major plot point.
Yep.
Huge plot point that allows our villain to come in when he's introduced later. And I'm not giving... These aren't spoilers. These are like Easter eggs.
Yes.
Because we want you to keep watching this show if you haven't watched it.
Yep.
Because you think this is just a little throwaway thing. And it is so significant to their entire relationship going forward.
Yeah. And I think to your point, the details, I think it's amazing how the world building aspect of Korean dramas, how extensive it is.
Oh, there's so many people.
Well, so we're going to go into the trivia, but the facts that I found, 763 characters in this drama. 763.
What do you mean?
Like they're characters, like actors, 763 people.
Individual people.
Yeah.
If you look at, so somebody was just on Netflix going, pause. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
4, 5,
Yeah.
6,
It's
7,
massive.
because they filmed in 2 countries.
They filmed in 2 countries.
They filmed in Korea and Germany, which I was like, did you need to go to Germany?
They needed it because the budget, I mean, we're going to talk about this a little bit later, but that budget was massive. They had to do it in Germany. And it wasn't just like one part in Germany, like one part of Germany. It was several cities that they were going around. Other fact, 331 days of filming.
So they have the showdown, because we don't talk about what the showdown is about. So basically, the German brand, she needs $1 trillion club. The German brand is like, hey, we're only going into stores that are in the $1 trillion club. And she's like, all right, kick these lesser performing stores out of our store.
Yes.
And then, because Haein's like, I don't want, get them out of here.
Yeah. She wants this store because she needs to be in this club.
She needs to be in this club to show that she's successful and that the chairman's proud because he went against tradition and now she's really good at her job. And Hyunwoo's like, no.
Yeah, and he's being the general counsel. He's being a lawyer. He's like, you can't do this. You can't just like
you're gonna
go
get
in
sued.
And kick people out. And she's like, make it happen.
You're
I
gonna
don't
get
care.
sued. You're gonna get sued.
I don't care.
And not only is it, I don't care, make it happen. She calls him in her office.
Oh, yeah.
I don't care, make it happen. He says no. She says, I don't care, make it happen. And then she leaves her own office And it was like, bro, figure it out. And it's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
You feel so bad for him.
Yeah.
He wasn't wrong.
No, he's doing his job. He's a good lawyer. Well, that's the thing. His role in this family is like he cleans everyone messes up.
Yep.
He's general counsel to everyone. It's like the chairman's like, do this. The parents like, do that. The brother is constantly bugging him about stuff, right? Like,
the brother's an
hey,
idiot.
can you take care of this? And he's like, well, this isn't my like division. Like, you need to have your lawyers look into. He's like, but my lawyers are so bad and you're so great. So can you do this for me? And you're just like,
get better lawyers.
I know. But I think throughout the series we see this. He is a great investigator, Hyunwoo.
Yes.
He is very good at finding the facts. And he protects them. He cares about this family. You know, he's the only person. Everyone else, I feel like in this family, they're idiotic. Not trying to be mean, but they're just.
Well, here's the thing. It's the chairman was the one that had to do the work.
Yes.
Because the chairman is the one that had to build up the company.
Yes.
His kids
No.
did well, had to maintain. It's the next generation that has to go, we have to make sure that we're successful in the next iteration of this.
Yes.
And so it's not really the parents that have to do anything. It's the grandkids that have to make sure that we can keep going.
Yeah.
But when your brother's a dum-dum and you have to now put everything into your granddaughter, which goes against all of the traditions of this family.
Yeah.
It's actually kind of interesting because it's just like, oh, wait, hold. Looking at my notes. Wait. So, yeah, the showdown, he loses. He gets beat up. Oh, and this is where he has to go. This is where he has to drown his sorrows.
Yes. Well.
In alcohol.
Yeah.
But this is after we beat so her family.
Yep. Her family.
We meet her family. It's when you find out her brother is an idiot.
He tries hard.
He tries hard, but he is dumb as a box of rocks. And the wife just smiles. And then this is when you get this is the second time getting emasculated that day. Again, I don't like that term, but sometimes it is accurate.
Yeah.
Because this is when the father goes, well, when you all have a granddaughter, which is interesting because you never asked for a granddaughter. Mm-hmm. But now it's not only as he's saying, you're going to have a daughter. Mm-hmm. But we named her, and you're going to take the mother's last name. Mm-hmm. So the daughter's going to have the mother's last name, but that's to continue on the legacy of the Hong family.
Yeah, which is, again, it's insane.
But also kind of like,
It's kind of cool, like the family, very progressive in that way. Yeah, but just awful for Hyunwoo because you just see him completely cut, like.
Because he's like, wait, what do you mean she's going to have her last name? What do you mean we're having a daughter? What do you mean you picked her name already?
I know.
And Haein just in there like.
Yeah. And then remember, so right after that meeting, they have a confrontation. And he's like, do you even want to have a kid with me? You know, he's like, do you even want to have a baby? Like, why would we bring a baby in? And she's like,
I mean, if that's
what it takes.
Because not only that. Oh, this is the part that was the most emasculating. Yeah. You're going to have a granddaughter. We gave her a name. She's going to have your wife's last name. And then you're going to study abroad.
Because you have to study abroad. And he's like, are you going to let this happen? And she's like,
but why did he have to study abroad? He already has a degree.
But because Korean people, they want more.
He's a grown-ass man.
Doesn't
what
matter.
was he going to study? More law?
Yeah, they wanted him to go to I think Harvard, right? Yeah.
To learn more.
To learn more.
But I think it was also to get him out of the family.
I don't know if it's to get him out of the family.
Well, get him out of the way because now the daughter's born. Here's the thing. They don't need him after she gets pregnant. Here, go learn some more law. We'll raise this. And then because he goes, well, do you want to do this?
Yeah.
And she's just like, because can we raise her together? And she's like, well, we were raising this kid anyway. Yeah. We're rich.
Yeah.
There'd be people raising our kid. And he's like, the fuck?
Yeah.
Now his hands are in the air. He's like, well, what do you mean? We're not even going to be raising our own child.
Yeah. That's actually interesting why they want to get him out of the way.
Why? You're going to go study abroad and she's going to have a kid. Why would you send the husband away after she has the baby?
Maybe it's because they're trying to clean up right now. Because the whole reason, right? At the very beginning, the reason why we have those flashbacks is because they have that interview that's happening with the magazine, right? It's because they're having marital problems. There's rumors happening. So they're trying to cover that up. So maybe this is all part of that too. They're trying to cover up like their marital issues. So they just need to get him out of the way.
But her having a baby and him going abroad is going to be an even bigger problem.
But it happens in Korea. It's not that uncommon though. So like I think in Chaebol like society, like you going and you studying abroad, like it's not really like I can see basically Korean culture. It's like you get more, you strive for more.
Right.
So
I would understand that if he wasn't a grown ass man.
It doesn't matter in Korean society, especially this kind of world. Because that's the thing. There's a power dynamic, right?
Right. And he's
on
the end of it.
family, and at the end of the day, if you marry into a Chaebol, you have no rights.
No,
you do
she's
whatever
in charge. But that's what I'm saying. It's who's sending a grown ass? He's like 30. You want to send him back to school? What is he? A single mom? That's what I'm trying to figure out. What are you going to learn? Medical billing and coding? What is this? Where's he going? DeVry? That's why I couldn't figure it out. I understand that it's like, okay, so now
Baekhyunwoo's going to DeVry University.
He's going to learn how to weld. But also I know how to weld, so it's fine. But it's so she's not saying anything.
No.
She's just like, yeah, send him abroad. It's like she's completely numb in her house.
She is. She's numb because I mean, we see it more in the future episodes, but it's a constant battle, power battle. Like she's going up against her mom
all the time.
Which, I mean, I can't even like for a while, a couple of those episodes, I was like, is she not really her daughter?
Right.
I thought she was like a stepchild because it was so bizarre the way the mom only preferred the brother, Sucha, right? But she's,
because I can see like the Korean mother doting on the son. Right. Every culture's mother's doting on the son.
Yeah. But it was like mean. Like she's like
she's mean to her.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, either this isn't her kid. So I'm thinking either she was a mistress's kid.
Yes.
But I didn't go mistress's kid because the grandfather made her the heir.
Yeah.
So she has to be a blood relation.
Yeah.
Because there's no way her brother's not so incompetent that her grandfather would make a mistress's child the heir.
Yeah.
So she had to be in the bloodline. So I was like, all right, that makes sense. So what the hell happened between her and her mom?
Yeah.
For her mother? Because I'm like, this isn't the general mother-daughter meanness of a K-drama.
Right. And then that, like you said, Korean mothers tend to baby their sons.
As in mothers of most cultures. Yes.
Right. But then this mom, I feel like did a lot more, and we see in the episodes, and we kind of learn as the series goes why
she's mean to the daughter.
Yeah. And she's a little bit more like really hands-on with her son. So we leave Queenstown, and then this is one of our other favorite scenes. Hyunwoo.
We have to remember that when we leave the conversation where it's just like, you're not gonna, you're having a daughter, you're going to Harvard, and he's just like, do you want to do this? She's like, meh. And then
but then she coldly takes a phone call, like a work call, and she like walks away.
Right. But then she then goes and beats up her brother.
Yes.
Who was talking to her husband crazy. So it's like, well, this is interesting.
And you're like, oh, she must care.
Right.
Or is it about her pride? You know what I mean? Because
it's about pride because this is my husband. How dare you talk to my husband crazy?
You need to respect me and my husband.
Right. Yeah. Because it's like if you disrespect him, you disrespect me.
We go into the scene. He's moping. Hyunwoo is moping. With his
homeboy.
Yes. First, he goes to the batting cage, likes to hit baseballs. He does that.
This is a thing I keep seeing in Korean dramas now.
They love baseball in Korea. They love it. They love the batting cages. There's a lot of batting cage scenes in Korean dramas. It's actually really funny. He goes, he's all mopey. He's hitting balls, and then he goes to the Pyeongjam, which is a convenience store that appears a lot. Sees his friend. We love Pyeongjams. It's great.
We love people drinking openly in front of a convenience store.
Yeah.
When I was in Puerto Rico, we were they were like, oh, we're going to this place. They're like, oh, we're going to go head over. I can't remember what it was called. I thought we were going to like an establishment. It was a gas station.
Yeah.
No, it was a convenience store. There wasn't even any gas. And there was like 100 people out there.
Oh my gosh.
We were drinking gasolina on tap, So gasoline is a drink. So you remember the song Gasolina?
Yeah, gasoline.
Right. So now it's a drink. It's fucking delicious. I had somebody send it to me.
Wait, did they make the drink after the song?
I hope so.
Because that'd be kind of dope if they did that.
I believe they did. There's different flavors. If I can get somebody to send us some gasolina, I will bring you some.
Okay.
But it's an alcoholic beverage that's in a pouch like a Capri Sun. But yes.
Oh, I love that.
But they also sell it like a slushie at this gas station.
Oh, yes.
So we all went to this gas station. We got some gasolina and we were sitting outside. They have chairs set up, tables. There was music playing. I think there was like a food truck or something. No, somebody was just making food. Girl, it reminded me like Atlanta back in the day.
Okay.
And this was like, this was January of 2020. When we were filming this movie in Puerto Rico. And so I was like, see, this is what you should be able to do in front of a convenience store.
Yeah.
Buy some jeans.
Yeah.
Get some socks. And then have a couple of drinks. Because we were like, all right, well, we finished our drink. Let's go back inside and get another gasolina slushie.
Oh, my gosh.
And I was just like, so when I see people like drinking outside these convenience stores, a little table, I also love in Korean dramas, it's like, you're not going to drink without food.
Yeah, you have to. So this is in Korean culture. It's called anju, the side dishes that you eat while you're drinking. You got to have that. Like, because Korean people
Even
drink
if it's
so much.
chips.
Doesn't matter what it is. Peanuts, we have the dried squid, whatever it is, when you're drinking, you should be eating at the same time. Because Korean people tend to drink in rounds, right? You have like round 1, which is at dinner. Then you go to round 2, round 3. So in order to drink the amount that Korean people are able to like consume, you have to have food with it. He's like, why am I so cute? Why did I have to be cute and have her ruin my life?
Listen, we got married because I'm so cute.
He's like, this lunatic is wasted.
I can tell you when you listen to this. This is great.
Doesn't want to go home.
I'm so cute when I'm drunk. Oh, those are pear trees. This is the wildest move. He is acting his ass off.
He's such a good actor. He's crying. He has tears. This scene is great because the crying cracks me up.
The crying's hilarious, but also here's the thing. He sounds like a drunk person crying.
Yeah.
Because he's saying
really,
ridiculous things.
Yeah.
He's like, but I'm so cute when I'm drunk. That's why you can't. It's like you're making your heart
so
flutter.
good.
It is like this. Like I've been, when you're so sad, you're crying. Like when you're crying like that, you're going to say stupid things.
Yeah. And that's
when you're drunk like that, you're going to say goofy things. So he's crying from real heartbreak and he's drunk. Yeah. So of course I was known in my village, Yongduri, for being the cute son under the pear tree. And it's
so funny.
It's so great, but the wildest part is security. Because they're making sure there's no more scandals. So security is there.
Oh, it's the 2 spies that the dad has planted.
Yes.
They're hysterical. So I just also want to say they're 2 characters from another drama that Park Ji-yoon did, Crash Landing on You.
Yes.
So he is the assistant to the main character there. This cameo had me dying because I noticed it right away and I was like cackling, and it's so funny. I mean, this entire scene throughout, he's like rocking home drunk and crying, and then the spies are following. They're like
with the singing. Because I wrote down the singing, the drunk singing. Because security is priceless. The drunk singing is great. Yeah. I'm very much an old lady when I say I took notes.
No.
I took notes.
And then the song, fun fact, is called 참밖의 여자, the song that he's singing. And
what do you say? 참밖의 여자?
참밖의 여자.
Okay.
And it is by a very famous singer from the 80s, Cho Young-pil. So that's what he's singing. It's so funny.
I see that name a lot. Wait. What's his name? Cho Young-pil?
Mm-hmm. He's a very famous singer. Yeah,
so I think in the drama Samdari.
Yes.
Yes, that's what he said.
Yes. Yes.
If y'all didn't think I watched these shows.
Yes.
If y'all didn't think I watched these shows, this is a reference to a whole other. Don't play with the kid. Don't play with the kid.
That is.
Because I was like, wait, I know Chung Yu Pil.
I know this name. Yeah. This show is really, really, really funny. Like,
And
I know
that was
it's a rom-com, but it's like hysterical.
Well, that was the other, like, kind of like, girl, what moment that I had? I was just like, this show is funny.
It's very funny. It's a comedy. It's a comedy. I mean, it's a rom-com, but it's like, it's especially funny.
And most K-dramas aren't funny unless it's a side character being ridiculous.
Yes, but the main characters are kind of like
Still
comedic
serious.
as well. Like Hyunwoo's character, he plays a lot of the comic relief.
He is the comic because
he is, yeah.
Haein is not going to be.
No, she kind of is when she's like aloof and cold. Like she'll have moments like with her assistant, she'll say stuff. She's like,
Oh, her talking to Grace was great.
Oh my God.
When she checked Grace.
Oh.
Woo. Okay. The memorial service. So first off, what is so interesting is I remember it cut to the kitchen. And all of the son-in-laws,
yes,
all of the men who married into the family,
yes,
are preparing the food.
Which is honestly one of the funniest scenes.
He's saying that, like, traditionally
In the royal houses,
mm-hmm. the men would prepare the food
mm-hmm.
for the memorial service.
Mm-hmm.
As someone who has been watching, who loves the historical drama,
We never saw this.
I've never seen this in my life.
So I didn't have time to do that research to see if that was true. I don't know. I've never heard that either. You're right. In dramas, they never, like, this is the first time I've ever heard it, but it's great. It's hysterical.
Because
they're that delusional. That's what gets me about this family. They think they're so.
I think, first
made
of
it
all,
up.
it lets you know how many daughters are in this family.
Yeah. A lot of women in the family.
A lot of women in the family.
Because this is the extended home family. So
Right. So this is like
the
cousins,
Yep.
everybody.
Yep.
You're marrying into, because maybe it's if you're a daughter of the Hung family and you marry someone, wait a minute. His family would have to be as prominent as her family.
Yeah.
Because then basically she'd be leaving her family.
Yes.
But they're not marrying anybody prominent enough for them to leave their family. They're leaving their families coming into hers.
So this is why this is so outrageous. Traditionally, if a man, so like, let's say if you're a Hong woman, you wouldn't even go to the Hong events. You would have to go to your husband's events.
Right.
Right. But here, it's a complete reversal.
Right.
The women, their husbands are leaving their family and they're coming to their memorial and they're cooking. Like, that is insane.
Well, even the brother's wife isn't cooking.
She's not cooking.
And she married in.
Yeah.
I think it's interesting because, one, it's changing the gender roles, but also I think it's a way for the chairman
To flex.
Yeah.
It's like an ego thing.
Right. And for the chairman and his son.
Yeah. Sons.
His
too.
sons to flex and go, hey, you married the women in this family.
Yeah.
Also, it's probably just a lie.
Yeah, that'd be really funny if it was just
And nobody can prove them wrong.
Well, the best part is right here when Haein's brother Suchul comes in and he's like, oh, we have a new member of the family. And he's like giving him orientation. He's like, he can join the kitchen as well. And Hyunwoo's just like, what are you doing? Why don't you come here and help? And he's like, I can't. First he says, he's like, I'm Christian.
Oh, he's like, yeah, I just became a Christian. I cannot be part of your secular memorials.
Exactly.
And then Hyunwoo goes, I was born a Christian. And he's like, so yeah, I can't smell oil.
Yeah.
You know, oil cooking really messes. And they're just like, all right.
Hyunwoo had to skip his dad's 60th birthday,
Yes.
which is very big in Korean culture. Like,
The
that's
60th.
a big no-no. So again, because this family is the way they are,
It's so prominent.
they, like Hyunwoo's family, always gets the short end of the stick. So Hyunwoo can't even go to his like dad's birthday parties. Like, do you blame him for getting a divorce?
No, because it's like, but also the memorial and the dad's birthday wasn't like the same day.
It was the same day. Yeah. So he had to skip. Yeah. So it's his dad's birthday right now. He can't go, and poor guy's in the kitchen. This memorial is huge.
Well, it's huge because it's the 20 years since the mom's been gone.
Yeah. So
right?
this is the chairman's first wife who died. Mm-hmm. And there are several reasons to why she died. According to her daughter, she died of like.
Umja is saying that she died from a broken heart. Then she died because she drank. Because she drank a little bit, and it's just like, no, our mother was a drunk. She's like, no, she wasn't. So it's just like, first she died of a broken heart, and then it was dying of like the frustration that because apparently the chairman started dealing with this woman
Mosuri, right?
Mosuri, while the
Yes.
mother was still alive.
Yeah. So I believe she was the girlfriend, right?
Right.
Yeah. So he was having an affair while the his first wife was still alive.
But what if it wasn't an affair?
What do you mean?
Because remember they used to take second wives.
I don't think he was ever the second wife because she's always considered the live-in girlfriend because she's never
Right.
like, yeah.
Well, she was the mistress.
She's always had the mistress title, but she was never like, yeah. I don't think she was the second wife.
I do wonder if she was never the second wife. But I do wonder if the mother, because the mother, he would have taken a mistress and she would have been able to do nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that would drive you to drink because you can't do anything.
Yeah, you can't do anything about it. And this happens a lot, right? In Korean culture, or it did back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm sure it does still happen, but I think back in the day, a lot of wealthy men had mistresses, had second wives, all of that. And it was kind of accepted. So what can you do? So
No.
this is why his daughter Pomja is so against Mosuri. Because I think obviously Mosuri was like a thorn in her mom's
Side.
her entire, yeah. And if you think about it, the fact that
They knew who she was.
they knew who she was. And also this kind of goes to the scene where Haein's mom is in a hanbok, right? And she's like dressed up, and then Mosuri comes down and she's in regular clothes. So the Haein's mom's like, hey, like, why are you not wearing the hanbok? And then Mosuri, because she's just like sly, she's like, oh, I don't think it's in my place to come to the memorial. I'll just stay in my room. Because she's trying to give the impression that that she's treated poorly within the family, but obviously it's not true because you see the chairman coming, and the chairman is like, obviously he respects Mosuri and he wants his children, everyone to respect her. So he's like, why are you pushing Mosuri around, right, to Haein's mom? And Haein's mom's like, no, I wasn't doing that. She's refusing to wear the hanbok. And then Mosuri, like, she's like, oh, I'll wear it. So she completely changes her attitude. It's so fucking annoying. I was like, oh my god, she is just like the worst.
Well, I couldn't understand why she did it in the first place. And then it was just like,
She's doing it on purpose because she's fucking around with them. And
because she has to be the victim.
She has to be the victim.
And so the chairman has to come save her.
That's the crazy part about this whole thing, is that the father puts his daughter in jail because of this woman.
Because she physically attacked the mistress. Because when she's in jail and she's talking to Hyunwoo, she's like, I don't know why they're acting like it was so bad. It was like she was in the hospital for 3 months. And I was like, what did she do? She's like, I just grabbed her hair. She's like, she was in the hospital for 3 months. And I'm just like, but now to see the kind of liar
This woman is.
that Mosuri is, then it's like, maybe you didn't have to be in the hospital for 3 months. Maybe this bitch was just laying there putting makeup on a bruise.
Yeah, the entire time. Of course.
That's the
Wouldn't put it
epilogue
past
we
her.
needed.
I know. She's awful. But I don't know. But Pomja comes back from prison. And this scene's really funny. Oh, this is, yeah. She declares, Pomja's here, I'm here.
Pomja's here. The candles go out. There's thunder and lightning. First of all,
It's so funny.
the come here being like this is always interesting to me. Because in America, it's here. But then it's here. But also America, we go 1, 2, 3. And it's 1, 2, 3.
Oh, interesting. I
And
never
when you
thought
did
of it.
3, you did this.
I do 3.
You just did 3 earlier. You were talking. You were
Really?
like, mm-hmm.
Oh, did I? I don't even notice.
Remember that scene in Glorious Bastards where they found out they were spies because the guy went like this for 3 instead of going like that?
Oh, interesting. That's smart.
I was like, oh, you got to know all your cultural references when you go somewhere. Put my hands down. But so that's why that tiger, so that's why she's a leopard print.
Yeah.
And that's why she's, there's a tiger.
Yeah. Because all of the Hong children, all of like Haein's parents, that generation line, their name starts with Pom, tiger.
And then what's the second part of her name mean?
Cha, I don't know. We'd have to like Google it.
So
But the
prefix
Pom part,
is
the
Pom.
prefix, Pom means tiger.
So it's just Tiger 1, Tiger 2. So it's just like
Yeah.
Tiger King, Tiger Princess.
Yeah.
That's so interesting.
And the only reason I know that is because I am a tiger. My horoscope, my Asian horoscope, I'm a tiger. And in Korean, they don't go like the other word for tiger. There's 2 words for tigers.
Love this.
There's 호랑이,
Yes,
which
horangi,
is right, and then pom.
which is a tiger that's just like.
Yeah. So when you say that you can say I'm a 호랑이 띠. So 띠 means like my horoscope. You can say I'm a 호랑이 띠, but a lot of people say pom띠. So that's the only reason I knew what like pom meant. I was like, oh, okay.
Hilarious. I love that.
Yeah.
Mine is a boar.
You're a 돼지띠. You're a pig.
Yeah.
Pig. Yeah. Oh, 1983. Yeah. You and I are compatible.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So the service, very funny. You see all the drama. And then there's other drama too that they kind of talk about, which is there's the older brother who's watching from afar because he's estranged with the chairman.
Right, because the chairman
Right.
thought he pulled a stunt.
Yeah. So you have that drama happening.
Right.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then we kind of go into there's a scene afterwards, the memorial. One of the directors of Queen's Group comes to Hyunwoo's dad, Haein's dad, and is saying, hey, I need to resign. I need to resign from my position. So Haein's dad seems happy to accept the resignation. He's like, sure. But then he calls in Hyunwoo and he's like, investigate him.
Destroy him.
Yes.
He said, you can't eat at my table and then get away clean. And I was like, what the fuck is this about?
Yeah.
Why? Why can someone not be employed? But that's the thing. It's like people are so possessive
Yeah.
of other people because Hanu's like, why are we doing this? Also, you're the son. You've been eating at your father's table.
I know.
But let you think that this is probably the policy of the father as well.
Yeah. Yeah. So this family is like ride or die, do not betray it. I mean, they're kind of crazy.
Why are you penalizing me from leaving this job?
Yeah.
Because I don't understand. Because the man just said he wanted to leave. He didn't say why.
No.
But also, we don't need to know. He just wants to fucking quit his job.
He wants to resign.
And he can do that. But that also lets you. There's also why Hyunwoo was scared. Because it's just like, this man just works here. And he wants to destroy him. If I divorce his daughter.
Yes.
Because he does the thing like, I want a knife in his back. And he's like, why?
And then they playing the Godfather theme in the background. I love that little touch. Again, this show cracks me up. I was cackling on that section too. Because that was really unexpected. But anyways.
But it's just so, it's like more foreshadowing. Because it's like, I knew it was going to be bad if I try to leave.
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be bad if I get divorced. Because it's like, you can't get divorced. You don't get divorced. But then to be like, oh, you have to destroy someone who leaves his family. Then it's like, if he leaves her, then it's what's going to happen to his family.
Yep.
Because they depend on her.
What would you like to be an heiress of?
Oh.
An American brand. Oh, I know what I want. It's kind of weird, but I know what I want.
Tell me.
Taco Bell. I would love to be the heiress of Taco Bell.
You want to be the heiress of Unilever. Unilever owns
Taco Bell?
Yes.
Okay. Well, maybe they could just break off Taco Bell and give it to me.
No, Taco Bell's another company.
Yeah.
But
the parent company is
parent
Unilever?
company.
Damn,
because
Unilever had their
because
hands in
Pepsi is the
everything.
parent.
Yeah.
It was the parent. So I think it's still Unilever now. So I would want to be Procter and Gamble. I want to be an heiress of Procter and Gamble.
Yeah, you're thinking big.
Because that's all the money.
Yeah. No, you're right.
I'm trying
thinking,
to marry
I'm
a
like
Procter
small,
or a Gamble. That's who I'm trying to get with. Also, all of the toilets that you see in like most airports, most businesses say Sloan.
Yeah, Sloan.
I need to know if I'm
Oh, if
related
you're
to
to that
those
Sloan.
people, and then I'm my own heiress. That's what I'm trying to figure out.
That's smart. I thought this was a good question.
It
What would you
is.
like to be an heiress of?
I think that's a good question for the listeners. If you could be a chaebol, what would you want the company to be?
Yes. That's a good question.
And don't say something stupid like Apple. Because it's controlled by, there's no single family. It's shareholders.
That's true.
Steve Jobs didn't have no kids.
He did have kids.
Did he?
Yeah.
You never hear about him.
No, you don't. But they're probably normal. That's why. The next scene. Oh, Grace.
Oh, Grace.
Grace is like so
This bitch.
manipulative, and it's kind of crazy. She's so petty because this is the scene where she goes to Queen's department and Haein's mean to her.
But the reason she's in there because she comes in with that other lady and she's talking shit because she's a matchmaker.
Yes.
And so
she's a minion, a matchmaker. She owns the facial clinic.
She owns the fucking salon. Like she's like jack of all trades, trying to make all the money, master of none.
Yeah.
So it's like she's mad because the ladies ask her about a son of another family but this is when you find out why she's so vindictive to Haein and why she's mad at Haein because she tried to do a match.
Yeah. Oh, yes.
Because it was like, that's why she comes in because she's going, well, this match was bad. So that's why she comes in fucking with Hyunwoo because she was like, well, did you think that she was going to, that this was actually a love for the ages, that this is actually what everyone was saying it was.
So
but
nasty.
she know because she can't come at Haein. So, because Haein's like, she's like, you should come to my facial clinic. She's like, I'm not going to your clinic. I don't want to talk to you. I don't like you. Leave me alone. Also, why are you talking to me informally? I don't know who you are.
Like, get out of here.
You're friends with my mom. Beat it. So, in the same way that Haein couldn't say anything about her family talking crazy to her husband, so she went and beat up her brother. Grace couldn't say anything to Haein.
And she puts it on Hyunwoo.
So she puts it on Hyunwoo.
Yeah. And poor Hyunwoo thinks Haein wrote him out of her will, which is like a big deal. Like, that's a huge ass betrayal. Like,
especially if we're married.
And he's treating her like shit. The family's treating her like shit. And he's like, why am I even here? Like, what am I?
If you're mistreating me and then if anything happens, I get nothing.
I'm a manservant. That's it.
With a law degree.
Who's like saving this family.
Overqualified manservant.
And then Haein calls Hyunwoo afterwards, not knowing what had happened. And she's like, hey, I need you to go somewhere with me. But earlier, she gets a call from her doctor.
Yeah.
And then Hyunwoo's like, and Hyunwoo doesn't know this. And he's like, F that. I'm not
going nowhere with you.
I'm good.
Because Grace came up to him and lied because she wants to break up the marriage to get her married to somebody else. Because she needs the notoriety of that would be her biggest match made. So she's trying to make money off being a matchmaker. So it's very interesting because it's like, but what do you do when everything's against you? You go home.
So we go to his house, his neighborhood.
Home.
Yeah. He's excited.
Yongduri!
And there's a sign at the top when you enter the village, which is very sweet, celebrating their prodigy son.
Is it
Hyunwoo? Prodigy. They call him the prodigy son.
Okay, because I was thinking prodigal, but that's a different kind of son.
Yeah. That's I don't think that definition is. Yeah.
But prodigy makes more sense.
The prodigy son.
Because he went to the fancy university.
And he married the chaebol. So everyone's really happy for him. And and you can kind of just tell every time we go to Yongduri, it makes me like warm and happy.
Because I think, but also the lighting's different.
The lighting's different, and they just make it more homey and like.
Because the house is cold, like it's almost like the light is fluorescent.
Yeah.
At the house.
Yeah, and to me too, it also, like Korea, I've only been there like a handful of times. I studied abroad there like 2007. It reminds me of like old Korea, like Yongduri, because in Korea now, if you go to Seoul, it is so. I mean, it's feels
super modern.
It feels like. What like Haein's house, like it's like cold almost. It's very like
square.
Yeah, and there's just like lights everywhere. It's a lot. It's like New York City on steroids.
Gross.
Yeah.
Ew.
But Yongduri, I would love to go visit. Like that to me feels
but I
very
want to go to
Korea.
Korea.
I know. So when we go, not if we go, when we go.
Look at God. How do you say that in Korean?
What?
Look at God.
Look at God. 하나님 봐.
It's not a question.
We would have to go to the smaller towns in Korea,
Gracias.
like the smaller cities. But
we gotta go to Jeju Island.
Yes, Jeju's supposed to be a lot of fun. Jeju. Yeah. But this like village makes me feel that way.
Yeah.
And they have everything that makes me feel like old Korea.
We're back at the house.
We're back at the house.
We're back in the orchards. See, and this goes back to, I was saying the gender roles changing.
Yeah.
Because this is a man literally stranded in a field, in a muddy field with his homeboy.
Yep.
And the wife walks up like, ugh.
She's annoyed. She's like,
call
you did this
yourself a
again.
farmer.
Yeah.
She's like, why are y'all even out here? You don't know what you're doing.
So funny. And then she is like working the machine, which is so funny.
She cranks it like a Model T.
It's so funny. And then she pulls him out and he's like, he's also a politician.
But why can't he crank that up? Does he not know how to do that?
I don't think he knows how to do it. I think that's the whole point. I think she is like,
because he's like, my wife, she knows how to do everything. And da-da-da-da-da. She's just like, The
sense I get is she's like the actual farmer. She's doing the work.
Yes.
And he's like politicking.
Yes.
Like he's the village leader. So he's like really focused on that. And then Hyunwoo shows up and they're all like, oh my gosh, why are you here?
I do love the part of her driving the cultivator and he's politicking and she's like, sit down.
I know. And then she like,
and she's brake checks him.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
He falls over and she's like, and then she starts driving fast. Like, why? She's like, I told you to sit down. So she doesn't like the politicking.
No, she doesn't.
But the son shows up.
Mm-hmm.
Hyunwoo shows up. And the dad immediately runs to the passenger side. And is like, where's my daughter-in-law?
Yeah.
Because it's like, why are you? And I was like, this is my first indication. I was like, he's stressed out. He went home.
Yeah.
And the first thing, and his mom is happy to see him, but the dad's like, where's?
Yeah.
But it makes sense if he's a politician.
Yeah.
And he's politicking. Oh, sorry. Okay. Then it's like, yeah, where is my seat? Where's my source of power?
Yeah.
Where's my daughter-in-law?
Yeah.
Because this is what gives me my validity. This is what gives me my kind of like, not like validity, so to say, but I'm just like, it's good for him to have the daughter-in-law pop up because it's like, oh, look, we have this big connection to this Chebel family.
Yeah. I also think too, the sense I get is they're a pretty warm family.
Yes.
So there's a little bit of, that's their daughter-in-law. And obviously I think it says in the drama, like they have not been back for a very long time. So again, she's not doing her dues. Like she's not seeing his family. She's doing her own thing. She's supposed to be doing that. So I think for them, like, and I think their perspective, they understand. They're like, oh, she's Chebel. She works hard. She's busy, all of that. So I feel like he probably like, yes, he wants her for like the politicking and all of that. But I also think that the family, they really do care, and we see as the episodes go on, like she gets a sense of warmth from the family. It's not like from her own family she gets it from his family, So I think there's like a little bit of that there too. But and it's kind of sad if you think about it, how like he is not part of his parents' lives. Like he's not part of his family's lives right now.
Because when you marry into that family, you're a part of that.
You're locked into that other family,
right? Yeah, because it's their status,
their money, their status trumps it all,
right? Because it's like they've equated themselves to a noble family.
Yep.
And if this was years ago, because like think about it, when you still had like the nobility, if the son marries in, he leaves his family, if her family's at a higher status. Now, if it's status for status, she's going over there. But if she's if you're going to the family, whichever is the higher status, because you want to marry up.
I think they're really shocked to see him because he misses the party, which is a big deal. So they're like, hey, like, what are you doing? Why are you here?
It makes sense because it's like, but if I was them, I would have wondered why more he came empty-handed.
Because it really looks like he just came straight from work.
And I'm just like, because it makes it seem like it's not that far of a drive.
I think probably like an hour or two.
Tops.
So
it's like on the way he could have gotten an assistant to be like, hey man, can you go get a box of that all
the Korean pears.
The Korean pears. Give me a box of Korean pears. Get some of that fancy ginseng packets.
Yes.
The fancy cookies in a pretty box. And some fancy teas. I'm going to my parents' house.
A little something.
So obviously, a box of persimmons.
That's why I think the parents are like, what's wrong? The first thing at the mom, you can just kind of sense, like she knows what's like something's off. And then the siblings come.
They're meeting. They're talking about browbeating him about not going to dad's party. And then he's like, I'm not happy. I'm getting divorced. And they're like, what is
happening? And everyone's shocked. His dad's like, do you have another woman?
Because that's the most logical thing. Is just like, but also think about it. Like if there was another woman, the dad would be like, why would you do this to Haein?
Wait, like why would you leave the Chebel for another woman? You know what I mean?
Is this woman also a Chebel? Because if she's, I mean, what's above Chebo? Nothing.
Nothing.
An actual princess.
Yeah, an actual princess.
And then it's an interesting conversation because like I want a divorce and the dad's like, well, do you think I'm happy? And the mother's like, what do you mean you're not happy?
Yeah.
I just got you out the mud.
Yeah. Yes,
what are you
that was
talking
pretty. He's
about?
like, not all marriages. You're not happy all the time. And you're just like, excuse me?
He's like, oh, no, not, shit.
It's so funny.
And then he has like a little powwow with his siblings.
Yeah.
And then again, she brings up him not coming.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're like, well, you went to this big fancy school.
Yeah.
And
I had to give up my life.
I had to give up my life because I'm a good Nuna for you to be able to go to this fancy school. And he's like, you didn't even go to class. And she's like,
that's not important.
That's not important. Who are you talking to? How dare you?
It's kind of sucks though for Hyunwoo though, because it's like he wants to divorce. He's terrified because Haein's family's gonna kill him.
Knife
and
in the
his parents are like, they really don't want him to. Then his siblings are like, we depend on this marriage for our livelihood. And you're like, are you effing kidding me right now? He
asked him, he was like, are you worried about your dojo?
So rude.
You're worried about your taekwondo?
Yeah. Just so much of this just,
It's everybody needs him and he has nobody.
Yeah.
So it's me. Everybody needs me.
Oh, Lord.
And then it's just like, hey, that's another podcast. Another podcast. Where's my husband.com? .edu. .net.
Oh, my God. Okay, so then, talks to his siblings. They're all begging him, whatever, and he just leaves.
Yep.
And he goes back, and he's ready. He goes back to Queenstown, and he is ready.
Out the divorce.
Yes. He goes to his laptop.
Let me tell you, as somebody who printed divorce papers on a computer myself.
What?
Yeah. I gave my ex divorce papers. We were never married. I'm just annoying.
Wait, what?
Yeah. I gave my ex.
You served your ex who was never married
to me?
Divorce papers to break up with him.
Yes.
Yo, that is savage.
And we still
that is insane. What?
And I still saw him for 7 more years.
Okay, again, another podcast episode.
Hey.
What is happening? Okay.
I live a wild life.
Where did you even get the divorce papers?
I found a copy of Britney Spears' divorce papers on the internet, and then I used those to help me create my own divorce papers.
That takes a lot of work.
Yeah, I was managing an auto body shop. It was a slow day.
Okay. So anyways, going back. So he prints them out.
He prints out his own divorce papers, and he is ready. He's ready. The family done fucked with him for the last time. He done found out that his wife done written him out the will. Because Grace is a lion cow.
Awful.
Who has her own motives, right? The family don't support him. Because he showed up and the mama was like, here's some kimchi. Here's some eggs. I know you're going through it. What's up? And then nobody supports him. Because the mama ends up being mad at the daddy, talking about marriage ain't always happy. His siblings, no one's supporting him.
Nope.
But he knows he has to do this. He prints them out on his Samsung printer.
He does.
Like an LG washing machine.
He prints it out.
And they have the translation divorce settlement, and he's knocks on the door. Knocking on heaven's door, like, all right, bitch, let's go.
And then she's in her beautiful bedroom. I love her room.
Her bedroom.
It's beautiful.
Looks like a museum.
It is. It is a museum.
And I'm like, you can never put clothes on the floor in here.
Nope. She just goes in, body in and out, sleeps, gets up. Someone makes the bed, sleeps, gets up.
He's ready to get divorced.
Yep.
And she's like, hey, she goes, oh, you're here. It's like, yeah, I have to talk to you. Well, I have to talk first. I was like, aren't you glad she talked first?
Yeah. And he has it in his hand.
And he has it in his hand behind his back. And she's like, I have to talk first. And he's like, okay, what are you talking about? And so she's like, I went to the doctor. She's like, remember I told you I had to go to the doctor and you didn't come with me? He's like, yes. I have 3 months to live. And he's like, whoa, what do you mean? What do you mean? He gives that big weird hug. And you can tell they haven't hugged in a long time.
In 3 years.
In 3.
I mean, probably not 3. Like, let's say 2 years. In 2
Let's
years.
say 2 years.
Yeah.
You can tell they haven't hugged in a while. Because he is ill-equipped for what's... She's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, she's like, why are you so emotional
I just told you I was dying. Why are you hugging me?
It's just like, why are you being nice to me?
What do you want?
Yeah, leave me
Oh,
alone.
I love you. Da, da, da. And it's just the most awkward.
She's like, you love me?
What? No, you don't. We ain't together. The fuck you mean? So, like, part of it, I kind of, like, when I'm watching, I'm like, okay, even though they're not doing well and he does want a divorce, he probably still loves her. Because he's still doing stuff for the family. It's all this other stuff. It made sense to me that this could be genuine emotion. But then when they showed his face on the other side of the hug, it was like, oh, he's kind of happy.
Yeah. And that's where...
You son of a bitch.
I know. It's an act. It's, and this is where his character, I feel like, I don't know. I'm just iffy on all the characters at this point after this episode, you know? There's funny characters, but both the leads, you're just kind of like, well, Haein's kind of like,
she's not
a
nice.
lunatic. She's crazy.
She's not nice. And then you feel bad for him until this point.
Yeah, where it's like, oh, like, real? That's kind of scumbag.
So it's like, so you know, it's like, because you can see him going, oh, I can just wait for her to die.
The wheels are turning.
You can see the wheels turning.
Yeah, and it's just kind of like, ooh, ew, you know? It's like Mosuri or like Grace vibes, you know?
Yes.
Yeah, the connivingness of it.
Very manipulative. I'm just like, because I watched, I was like,
oh no.
oh, fuck, I gotta hate him now.
Yeah.
We gotta hate him now. Damn it.
Yeah.
So, and we would be remiss if we don't talk about the epilogue.
Yes. And this epilogue didn't have much. It was just kind of, it goes back to the wedding scene. The moms disappear. So Haein's mom is clearly upset about their wedding, the marriage, because she like storms off during the photo, and Hyunwoo's mom like chases after her. And then they're doing like little videos. They're recording each other little messages that they're going to see in like the future, their future selves. And yeah, and it's really sweet. You could tell like they really loved each other. Even Haein, you know, she's like, well, I have to do this stupid thing, but okay, if I have to, blah, blah, blah.
Because it's like, I know you're going to be too busy and too successful to even watch this. And it's just like, bitch, what?
Yeah.
Just say hey to yourself.
Yeah.
Or, I know I'm not going to watch this because I'm going to be too busy being successful to watch it. And I'm just like, yeah, okay. I guess you would be too busy being successful to even watch it. So, like, what are your overall thoughts? Like, at first episode, did you go after the first episode? Because I wasn't sure. I can say I wasn't sure. You're never sure if you're going to watch, like, the rest of it. Because, you know, there's dramas that have started where I'm just like, this is probably not going to get finished.
It's too much. Yes.
It's 2 minutes.
Yes.
This one, I was like, actually, when Bombshell showed up, I was like, this is going to be silly. And then when he was drunk, I was like, okay, this is going to be fun. And then when she turned around and said that she was dying, I was like, well, now I got to see if she dies.
So for me, when I first watched this, not thinking that we were going to do the podcast, just like as my first watch, I was a bit, it's fun. I like the writer a lot. I loved Crash Landing on You.
I've never seen
that. Is a delightful show.
Okay.
It's great. So that's the only reason I watched it. I watch dramas now if I'm really into one of the actors.
Okay.
Kim Seon, we talked about this before. He's cute, but he's not like a hottie.
He's not handsome.
Yeah. I'm not like, oh my God, he's, you know, people love him though. He's so popular in Korea.
Because who's the one, was it Park Sejong?
Park Sejong, oh yes.
Is the one
Park
everybody
Sejong
loves.
is, yes. Any drama with him, I'm just like, yes. He is just, Itaewon Class, all of it. He's so good.
I tried to watch Itaewon Class and I was like,
Itaewon Class is so good.
at the beginning, it didn't catch me in the beginning.
Well, yeah. So I think, so this, going back to this, This first episode didn't catch me in the very beginning. Now, my friends were telling me, hey, you need to keep watching. It's actually really funny. They're like, it reminds me of Crash Landing on You. You got to keep on watching. So I went back and I watched, and I think it was after the second or third episode where I was like, oh, with like the boar attack and all of that thing. When that started happening, I was like, oh, this is a little different. And then I think I fell more in love with the side characters more than anything. It wasn't the leads I was into. I'm into Bombshell, like you're saying. Bombshell's character is really funny.
Yes.
I like the drama of the Chebon family, like the Hong family fighting each other, the Mosuri stuff, that kind of stuff. I'm like, ooh, it's funny. And like, you know.
Well, here's the thing. I always have a soft spot for the second male lead.
Oh, yes.
Because he's never.
I mean, who doesn't?
He's never.
Yeah.
He's never. So you're the second lead. But I'm always interested. When I saw this, I was like, who is the second lead? Yeah. But it does take a while for the second lead to get revealed, for them to show up. So it's like, because when she said she was gonna die, and I'm like, well, it's like when you put like an animal or a gun in a movie, you have to use it, right? It's how they do it. Yeah. If you put an animal or a gun in something, you have to show it. You have to use it once you showed it, because people are gonna spend the rest of the thing going, fuck that, where'd that dog go? It was a dog. What happened to the dog? I saw a dog. So I was like, okay, if she's going to die, how's this play out?
Yes.
Because she's running this store. So it's just like, okay, she's running the store. She's going to die. Who's going to get the store? Her brother's an idiot. Maybe not him. And then you see his family. And it's just like, okay, she only has 3 months to live. So this is either going to be them trying to do like a bucket list situation and do all the things she's ever wanted to do before she died. Like now I'm like, okay, well, what are they gonna do to make this trope worth it? Yeah. Please be sure to give us some love by doing a like or subscribe. And you can listen to us on Apple or Spotify, or you can watch us on the YouTubes, and then you can follow us on Chasing K-Dramas on Instagram and the TikToks. Or you can just email us and be like, hey, this is the favorite show that I like to watch. So tell your favorite K-drama fan that we are out here breaking down these K-dramas episode by episode. Follow us. We love you. Bye.
사랑해.